Hey B2B leaders, I want to talk to you guys about something that I do not feel like is discussed often enough, let alone a practical takeaway of something that I feel like is really hard for people to do, but as leaders in an organization, it's the most important thing we can do. Guys, I want to talk to you about hard conversations. There's a lot of reasons why people don't do these. Many reasons could be they just don't want to feel rude. Maybe you're too close to somebody in your organization. If you have a hard conversation, that could ruin your friendship. Maybe you don't want to be viewed as just somebody that's just not a nice person and you don't want to feel micromanagey, so you just don't want to have the hard conversation, or you just flat out just avoid them because you just don't like doing them. What I want to tell you is a hard conversation with one of your representatives, consultants, or brokers is actually the purest form of love that you could possibly give somebody. It's the truth that you're bringing them that they need to hear. And here's the thing about a hard conversation. A lot of people think that it's taking somebody into a room or their office and tearing them from one side of the wall to the next. And that is actually the opposite of what you're supposed to do with a hard conversation. You are actually supposed to be building this person up by having a little bit of harder things to talk about, but you're doing it because you love them. So I wanted to give you some practical takeaways, some things that you can utilize. You can mix these up, you can fill in some of your own, but I wanted to give you some actual context to help you out because I feel like hard conversations, once again, they're not utilized because maybe leaders are not teaching other leaders how to have them. So I want to talk to you first and foremost about a foundational context. This is the entry point to a hard conversation. This is the things that you want to say before you actually start talking about or having coaching conversations with this person that's having some struggles. This is like a segue to give you something to bring vulnerability. It's to help them understand the purpose of why you're about to have this conversation with them. So number one, I wanted to give you a thing called a confession session. This is actually almost funny because you are always going to get some relief because they are going to end up confessing why they're even in the room with you, and they almost do your job for you. What that is you literally say, hey, do you have any reason to know why I'm bringing this office? Do you know why I set 15 minutes aside for you and I? They right there might automatically blab, yes, I've been thinking about this all weekend. I already know I've been doing X, Y, and Z, and I'm sorry, I've been working on it. They may expose things to you that you didn't even know that they were doing, but they already almost do their job. They've been waiting for it. And if that is the case, I want you to evaluate yourself as a leader because that means you might have taken too long to have this hard conversation if it's already to that point. They're like ready to explode, already knowing what that is. The other one I want to give you was be clear that you care. So after they may say, yes, I understand, I was doing X, Y, and Z, then you move to the next part to say, real quick, I want you to understand something. Do you know that I love you? Do you know that I care about you? And not even just you, but you know I care about your wife, you know I care about your kids, you know I care about where you're going next. You understand that, right? And I say, you know that I love you because I personally love my people. I use it all the time. I tell my guys that I love them all the time. Whatever kind of leader you are, I like saying that because to me, like that's just how close I am to my people. But ask them, do you know that I care about you? You get that confirmation, and most of the time, you should be getting a yes. If you get a no, then once again, maybe we need a little bit more evaluation on you as a leader. The last one is after they understand, yes, Matt, I know you care, man. I know you love me, dude, and I really appreciate that. Then you want to set the mentorship mission. You want to let them know that, listen, do you know why I'm here? Because as a leader, I made an oath to this organization. I made an oath to this team. I made an oath to all you guys that I wanted to make sure if there's anything that was going to damage your career or the future of your career or anything within your finances, it's my job to say something about it. Would you agree that's a good idea for me to do? Would you agree that's a good thing for a leader to have as an attribute or a characteristic to make sure that their people are always moving in the right direction? Once again, I'm putting them in a place to understand, hey, I care, but I'm asking you, does this make sense to you? And generally, you're always going to get an agreement with that. Then you want to move on to the actual hard conversation. Okay, here's what I think is the most important thing that you can do. Write down 3 to 5 bullet points of the things that you want to coach them on that's even making this a hard conversation in the first place. These 3 to 5 bullet points need to be specific. They have to have dates and actual things that are going on within what they're doing action-wise or what they're not doing. The less specific you are, the more it's going to feel he said, she said. It's going to feel more like a gossipy conversation, and it's almost going to lean more on emotion, which becomes extremely dangerous. The other thing I want you to realize is you have to have data. Data is one of the most important aspects of a hard conversation because data takes out every single bit of emotion. Data says, hey, this is what you're doing, period. So that way it doesn't feel like it's micromanaging. It doesn't feel like that, hey, they're picking on me. If I have data, this sets everything in front of me to help them understand, hey, this is what you're actually doing, and this is why we're even sitting down and having this conversation. Number 3, leave names out of it. Do not pull in other names in your organization of why you're having the conversation, or this is what they said, and this is something that I'm concerned about because of something that was brought to me from so-and-so. Guys, you are literally creating an animosity rope that you are tying around the people within your own facility when you do that. This is not about other people. This is about you, them, their data, and their projection of their direction and where they're going. This has nothing to do with anybody else. Do not bring names into this equation. That becomes dangerous. It actually you'll see them lose train of thought of what you're talking about, and they'll be like, wait a minute, they said what about me? And they just completely missed the whole reason why they're even sitting down with you. So leave names out of it. That becomes extremely dangerous. Number 4, focus on a solution. Make sure that you are focusing on a solution. This is something that we want to do, is sit down and build you up to figure out what is the next step. What is the next thing that we need to be doing in order to fix this? But check this out. The solution, have them come to that conclusion on what they need to do themselves. What I mean by that is give them clues, give them ideas, but then just ask them blatantly, hey, so what do you feel like is going to be the best thing for you to do in order to change this projection? What do you feel like some of the actions that you can do so that way we're not heading in this direction where you're not going to be making money, or this is the 3rd week in a row that you haven't made a sale? Let them come to the conclusion and let it be their idea. Think about this for a second. If you make somebody's goal for them, that's not a goal. That's called a quota. So you want to get away from that type of aspect and make sure that they are selecting what they feel like that they need to do. And the last one is leave the conversation on a positive note. Let them know how much you care about them. Let them know how much they are an asset to the organization. Let them know that, listen, their potential is just massive here. But one thing to remember about potential, I wrote this down because this is so important. Potential is just an idea of energy that's stored until utilized. It's stored until utilized. Hard conversations, guys. Somebody told me long ago, if I'm not having 3 to 5 of these a week, are you really a coach? Are you really a leader? Because if you are, what exactly are you leading? What exactly are you coaching at that point? And that one hit me so hard because it's true. It's not that we should be looking for it, but we should be taking inventory of our people. And if somebody's not doing what they need to be doing, it is going to reflect on you as a leader, but I'm going to tell you a little story about how it also reflects on the organization. This was long ago. I had an agent walk by one of their managers, and the manager walked up to him, patted him on the back, and said, hey, great job last week. Like, man, you're killing it. I'm so proud of you. They walked by, that agent directly came in my office, sat down and said that the leaders actually care about people in this organization. And me, of course, I'm like, what? Where is this coming from? What are you talking about? What happened? Talk to me. Well, my manager just walked by me, patted me on the back, told me great job, and basically is blowing smoke up my rear because I haven't been doing a good job for the last 4 weeks. And if he was looking at my numbers, he would know that. What's my point of this story? You don't understand who's actually waiting for a hard conversation. They've actually been waiting for 4 or 5 weeks. And it's been you because you're scared to have it. And when you actually have it with somebody, they're relieved because they know it was coming, or, man, thank God, like I'm suffering. I need some help over here and nobody's helping me. And you can't expect as a leader somebody to come for you and ask for help. That's not how people operate. And it's a little bit of their job, but it's your job as a leader to identify that. You're the captain of the ship. So regardless if it crashes and other people didn't do their job to see what it crashed into, you are still the leader of the organization. Make sure you make a priority as a leader in your organization to have hard conversations.